This podcast is brought to you in part by Coke, Buffalo Wild Wings, Southern Immediate Care, Guaranteed Labels, Central State Bank, Sunrise Docks, Banker's Bounty, and Dr. Thomas Dudney. Now, back to Bubba on the Lake.
Hey, it's Bubba, hey, Bubba, Bubba on the lake. This is Bubba, hey, Bubba, Bubba on the lake. Yeah, he's got it going on, gotta come and check this. Talking people, talking places from Bubba's perspective. This is Bubba, hey, Bubba on the lake. Hey, Bubba, yeah, Bubba on the lake. Let's go.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Bubba on the Lake. I am your semi-retired, mostly washed-up host, formerly of the Rick and Bubba Show, and we want to welcome you to Bubba on the Lake. We are in the Mellow Yellow studio, and our website is bubbaonthelake.com. You can shoot me an email, bubba@bubbaonthelake.com, or leave a message at 308-BIG-LAKE. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, all that stuff you need to do. Well, it is Thanksgiving week. And we're going to try to get this one out a little bit early so that if you're out riding around, you're going to Nana Nims and all of that, you'll have something fun to listen to. And we do have a great show. We had a couple of things lined up that didn't happen. I was very excited about getting David Beeman back on the show from NASA. Met him a few years ago. He's actually in charge of the first stage of the Artemis rocket, and they are stacking that again at the Cape, getting ready to shoot 4 astronauts around the moon. They're going to orbit and come back and get ready for Artemis 3, which will actually be a landing sometime next year. So exciting times if you're a space and rocket fan. I don't know that David is going to make it for this show. He had some things come up. He's very busy, as you might imagine, and we just try to get him when we can. And there is a possibility we may be going down to the Cape and do a show with that launch. Now, that's still up in the air. We'll work on it, but hopefully we can do that. But we do have a great show. I know for sure Betty is going to be on and have a couple of segments. She's going to tell you about some Thanksgiving things. And Stuart, the tech guy, came by. He actually came by the house, was helping me with a little project. And I said, hey, while you're here, throw the headphones on. So we talked to him about some things going on for Christmas, and he will fulfill all of your technology needs. Of course, Stuart Brockwell from Surge Technologies in Birmingham. Now, we want to thank all of our sponsors. We appreciate them making the podcast possible this year, and there's so many things I'm thankful for. We've had a struggle with our knee replacement. I have learned the saying, health is wealth, is very, very important. I tell you, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. Doesn't matter. So we're very sensitive to that. Betty and I will talk a little bit about that too. But we're very thankful for all of our sponsors that have made this possible. I would appreciate you letting them know that you appreciate them too. Speaking of that, we do have a big happening here. Santa is going to be coming to Lake Martin on Black Friday for Christmas at Crossroads. It'll be Friday, November 28th. You can shop the Holiday Bazaar from 9 to 4 for the perfect handmade gift for the loved ones on your list. Tell the kids to have their list ready and get their picture made with Santa. He'll be on the green stage from 10 until 2 p.m. I'm assuming that is the Friday on the green stage that we have during the warmer months. And there'll be no doubt about it when you get there. You'll know where Santa's going to be. You can learn more about the whole day at russelllands.com. And Russell really rolls the carpet out for Christmas. It's a big deal. And if you're just tired of ordering socks and underwear on Amazon for your relatives, you need to check out the Holiday Bazaar, because there's a lot of woodworking, there's a lot of arts and crafts. For that person, it's kind of hard to buy on your list. You might be surprised what you find. It's a big deal around here. Everybody loves it. So that'll be going on Friday, November the 28th from 9 to 4. Santa will be there 10 to 2, so bring the kids. Let them sit with Santa and whisper in his ear what they want also. Always a big deal here at the lake. Okay, we Let's see. We had some political things. I'm just not in the mood for it. Honestly, I'm just so full of thankfulness right now. I don't even want to deal with negativity in the news. Sometimes I just have to do that. So I am excited. We have so much to be thankful for. This year, I think is going to be more special than ever here at the Bussey house, being that our daughter has moved back to D.C. and she'll be back in. And Hunter's working with me, but I don't see him every single day, but he'll be here. And, we'll have everybody together again, which will be great. Mom and Dad will enjoy that and be very thankful for that. So much to be thankful for, just a roof over our head. If you're listening to this show, you probably have a phone or a car, and, all those things come from God, all the good stuff, and we really, really appreciate it and are thankful. So I won't hold this up. We have a lot to cover. Stuart, the tech guy, will be up, and then we're going to talk to Betty about some Thanksgiving cooking. Some of you have been wanting a recipe and to know how she does some stuff, so she's going to talk a little bit about that. We'll see if we get David before the podcast is over. If not, we'll catch him on the next round. So thank all of you for joining us. We hope that you are having a happy and safe Thanksgiving already. Be careful out there on the highway as you travel, and we'll be right back with more Bubba on the Lake right after this.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We'll be right back.
On the water or off, experience lake life to the fullest at Russell Lands on Lake Martin. Grab a latte at Brew 63, linger over lunch at Fanny's, or take in a Lake Martin sunset at Kalijah Restaurant. Whether you're here for the weekend or you've made your home at the lake, Russell Lands is where community and the land come together. To learn more about upcoming events, visit russelllands.com. Come see what lake life is all about.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
Since 1965, Bice Motors has been Lake Martin area's home for Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram sales and service. For 60 years, families have trusted Bice Motors in Alexander City for honest deals, friendly service, and the best selection around. Our team of certified technicians services most all makes and models. Plus, we've got a tire center, parts department, and a full collision center to keep you rolling. Bice Motors, your hometown Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram dealer since 1965. In Alex City or online at bicemotors.com.
Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Well, we're back, and we have Stuart, the tech guy, with us. Also sitting in, Betty Lou Bussey. Betty, how are you?
I am doing good. Happy Thanksgiving week, everybody.
And I know how you love technology, so I asked you to sit in here in the Mellow Yellow studio, which you can hand me my Mellow Yellow back. It's out of reach here.
To
get our branding.
spill it on the
Get your
the
branding
thing
on
there.
camera.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we have Stuart Brockwell from Surge Technologies, Birmingham, Alabama.
Yep.
And he is in studio with us.
For the first time.
Yeah.
We're pumped to have you here at the lake.
Yep. It's a beautiful day. Actually, not horrifically cold for late November.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
How about
You
the view, though, out the studio window,
man.
huh?
It is nothing like no other.
Yeah, like
I mean,
no other office for
That's
sure.
right. I mean, the Mellow Yellow studio spared no expense.
Better known as my kitchen.
That's
But
right.
I had to get a swig then.
Oh, gosh.
Well, Stuart, what is going on? It's we're about to have Black Friday.
Oh, yeah.
We're about to have Cyber Monday, and I had to ask you what are some of the things we talked a little bit about it before, but has there been anything that has come to the forefront that this is going to be the must-have item this year?
Well, I think first off, is it just me, or is Black Friday like now it's like a month-long event? It's not.
Oh, yeah.
And,
On some sites.
and then we had Cyber Monday for a while, and that's just like all the time now. So
Right,
I mean,
right.
that just kind of died off.
Well, I think Amazon killed both of them.
They did,
really.
Like most things, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on who you shop with. But no, I mean, I'm thinking right now the must-have tech items are kind of stuff people have already seen. You know, you got your AirPods Pros that are a good value. You can see those on sale every so often now. People are always buying things like drones and tablets. Although the new Nintendo Switch is a thing, so you can buy that if you're
a new one. It's a different one.
The Switch 2. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I got one back when they came out in early July or late. I guess
Now we had some kind of Switch that our kids had when they were little.
It was just a
Nintendo?
regular
The-
old
the
Nintendo. I don't know.
So the
I don't think
Nintendo
it
Switch
had
came out in 2015 originally.
Hunter probably has that. I don't know, or did. I don't know
I
what
would
he
say
has
it
now.
may have even been, well, that was 10 years ago. So
Yeah, that was 10 years ago.
It actually
times are getting away.
Yeah.
It might have been 17. Don't quote me on the release date. Either way, it's been a while. Nintendo finally stepped up. They got something new. I picked one up. They're great. It's a little pricey for a handheld. It's $500. But everything's expensive nowadays, except for
I know.
TVs for some reason.
TVs are the cheapest
You
of
can
all
get
of it.
what is it with this world that you can pick up a 55-inch good-looking
Yeah.
television, not garbage, a good-looking television for like $229,
know.
and yet you can't get a set of tires for your car for under $3,000.
I know.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
It's very hard to explain that. I think the fact that they started turning the TVs out and they're not serviceable, they're just one board.
Yeah.
And I think there's only probably about 3 boards, and all the different manufacturers put a different case on it, So
They do. Well,
they
and
made it cheap.
And you also have the thing like with TVs. Speaking of which, if you are in the market for a TV for Christmas, which is a lot of people are, it's a popular Christmas thing to do. Brand doesn't matter anywhere near as much as it used to.
Right.
It really doesn't.
Right.
My favorite TVs now are made by an off-brand called Hisense, of all things. And I like Hisense for a number of reasons. Their cost is low. Their smart, integrations are not great. But you just pick up an Apple TV and throw it on there, right? You don't
Right.
need
Yeah.
that.
Right.
So it gets you a nice Hisense. Their mini LED 7 series TVs are like under $1,000 for a big screen. And you've got something.
Do you still like Apple TV versus just smart TVs in general?
Oh, no question. I mean, I deliberately tell people, ignore what the TV says it can do. Never connect it to the internet, not once, and immediately just plug in an Apple TV because they're cheap enough. Most people have iPhones. If you're over on the dark side and you use Android, then pick up a Roku, and those work just as well.
Right. Right.
But you can't beat Apple's integration, the way that it works. Your subscriptions all sync over. It's very nice. So if you are in the Apple ecosystem, an Apple TV is a really smart buy.
So we were having a discussion about laptops a minute ago. When do you need to upgrade your laptop?
So typically with my business customers, we typically say 4 or 5 years is kind of the point.
Right.
For home users, you can stretch it further than that, especially if you're not a heavy user. But these days, I mean, if you're using a MacBook Air or like a Dell Inspiron or an HP Pavilion or anything like that, 4 or 5 years is easy to achieve, which is crazy thinking back into like the early 2000s when your computer was obsolete 12 months after you bought it.
Right.
Nowadays, it's not the case at all.
So why is that? Has the curve of technology slowed down a little bit? I mean,
Yes.
when you have a bigger, more powerful computer, you're only talking about a few things. You're talking about processor speed, and you're talking about memory. So we've reached a point now that memory's pretty cheap. Everything has a lot of memory in it. I don't use memory up on anything I've got. The processors are all so fast that you really can't see any difference if they make them faster.
That's right.
because the humans can't interact with it any faster.
You got
So is that why that's slowing down?
Well, part of it, are you familiar with the term Moore's Law?
That is the law that our technical advancement doubles at a certain point, right?
Yeah, every 18 months. The original definition was that the number of transistors, the little electronic switches that you can fit on a given processor of a certain size, whatever that size is, would double every 18 months. And it was held true all the way through the 1970s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s. And then people will debate when it ended. I hold that it was 2017 when it ended. Some people argue that. But it's to a point now that due to physics, we simply can't make that many more processors, more transistors on the same size chip anymore.
Right.
Because we're now manufacturing them in, the most recent iPhones manufactured on 3 nanometer. 3 nanometers.
Yeah,
That's the size of each individual switch. You need an electron scanning tunneling microscope to even see them.
So really, the next step is a term we've heard a lot about, quantum computing, where you literally carry it down to an atom, either being on or off.
That is a step. I don't think it's the step. That is going to be the step that
That's still sci-fi now.
it will be after you and me are long gone.
Right.
What
I don't know. It's every 18 months.
The next step right now, and what do you see? Like how is it that AMD or Intel or Apple are able to make chips that are faster without making them, have more transistors on them? By making the architecture more efficient.
Right.
So, an AMD processor from 10 years ago is going to have a similar physical dimension. There's definitely more transistors now than there were, but it's the architecture that's improved. So the Apple M5, what's the big difference? We talked about it last time I was on the air. It was efficiency.
Right.
It's not any faster,
right,
but it can do the same amount of work with 40% less power.
Right.
That's where we're
which
headed.
makes your portable devices last a lot longer. Betty, what do you think about the architecture situation?
I have no idea. All I know is my laptop is 10 years old, we decided. And apparently that's what I need to ask for Christmas. So I've already sent you links.
Okay, thank you.
And
I
they are
appreciate
on
it.
the Black Friday sale.
Yeah, that's a good kind of rope back into our Christmas talk. Is MacBook Airs, great laptops. They just are great. We sell over at my company. We sell more of the 15-inch model than any other MacBook Apple sells by far, and they are probably Apple's best computer in a very long time. They can video edit just like the big pros. They have no cooling.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. How are they when you bog them down with video? When you start doing that, because a long time I always thought that the Airs were for doing email and web surfing and that kind of stuff, but I really didn't consider it a heavy duty video machine.
It wasn't, and that was because back when up until 2020, the Airs used Intel processors, and they didn't have any amount of dedicated graphics processing. When Apple came out with the M series, starting with M1, and then it really took its the claim to fame with M3 and M4, is they've integrated a video encode and decode engine into the processor that has its roots from the iPhone. And that video engine is so good at what it does. It's so efficient at what it does. It basically takes all the load off of the processor when you're video editing on it. Mm-hmm. It's not a video processor in a traditional sense, but it does that level of work. So I have a friend Bill who needed a new MacBook. We got him set up with a new 15-inch Air. And it's editing 4K footage all day long. It doesn't. It has no fan in it. It doesn't care because that video engine does all the work.
What about the input and outputs? It seems like I'm always one USB plug short.
Yeah, you're not getting out of that one. You got Max.
How many do they have on it?
2. You got, and that's
I'd like 5.
Yeah, well, everybody would. At least they've got HDMI now.
Right.
Apple graced us with that.
Yeah.
So
I use a lot of Mac Minis and use them with TVs or different monitors.
Mac Mini M4 is and this is coming from me as a guy who likes PCs and Macs both equally. The Mac Mini M4, the base model specifically, is the best computer, period, for most people. It's under $500 new, and it will run circles around every PC on the shelf. It does not matter. It is unreal, the amount of performance in that box. And if you've already got a mouse and keyboard laying around, you'd be a fool not to look at it as an option.
So the M series chips, Apple, they're Apple's own in-house chip.
Yes.
Where are they making them at? Are they overseas too? Are they China made?
TSMC.
So that will be ripped off at some point.
TSMC, despite being located in Taiwan,
Taiwan's different.
It is
than Red China.
Well, China depending on who you ask, China would claim them, but this is not a geopolitical segment.
Right. They do, but they don't. They're not. They're not in charge right now.
No. So TSMC is very good at protecting intellectual property. They manufacture chips for NVIDIA, AMD, Intel even, and they do all of Apple's stuff.
So I remember back when COVID was going on, we had a discussion in this country about medicine not being made here and chips not being made here. Did we do anything to fix either one of those?
I'm not an expert on the medicine, so I can't speak to that, but I can tell you that there are several fabs being built here in the U.S. TSMC's got a fab that is supposed to, if ground hasn't been broken yet, it's going
Now,
to be
that's
soon.
real hip when you say fab. You mean factory?
Chip fabrication facility, yes. And people don't realize that all the devices we use, from audio equipment to phones to laptops to your smart toaster, it doesn't matter what it is, the chips that go into those are manufactured in a very small number of facilities. It takes decades to build one of these facilities and even longer to ramp it up into production.
Right.
You're talking about Mexico, China, Taiwan, Germany. There's just a handful of places that have the capability to do this, and inside the U.S. there's kind of a void of that, and that's because it's been too expensive to do it here.
Yeah, mostly because of the cost of the people.
Yeah.
It costs so much more here than it does in other places. They
It
go, well,
does.
you ought to pay them other people. Well, there's, it doesn't cost as much to live there as it does here. But I mean, can we afford chips made here?
It's going to be higher. When you start seeing iPhones made with chips out of Arizona, which I believe is where they're it's either that or New Mexico, where they're going to put the fab. I can't remember off the top of my head, but you're going to see an increase in cost for sure.
What about these data centers that I keep hearing? They're using so much power. A lot of places are not wanting them built in their area.
They're also very loud. And there's a couple of places in Tennessee. I know some people who live near one of these things. Property values are in the toilet because of this. Now, depending on
is it the new jail?
Well, depending on your point of view, if you don't mind it, it's a good opportunity to get some cheap land.
Right.
But no, these.
But we got to have servers. I mean, everything is server based out there. Every little app we're playing with has to go somewhere.
And AI, of course, is all based in these data centers. Now, of course, Elon, can't go a segment without bringing him up. His plan on this, which I think is actually smart, is to put it all in space. And I know this is where your interest comes in. So he wants to put data centers in space, powered entirely off of solar, because you can get way better view of the sun up there. Your solar is a lot more efficient up there. In the vacuum.
He's a dreamer.
You're not worried about heating or cooling the panels because you got the vacuum space.
Right.
So his
hell to work on though.
Well, it is. But with Starlink now,
hey, we got a fuse. Somebody needs to go trip a breaker.
Well, you'll just
get
have
the Dragon 9 fired up.
You'll have your Optimus robots up there to do that for you.
Well,
right?
that's true.
So, but yeah, orbital data centers are something that they're seriously considering doing. Now, is this going to be in the next 10 years? Probably not. In the next 20?
Ooh, a target though.
Maybe. So it's something to think about because AI is consuming vast amounts of electricity.
Is AI living up to the hype? I mean, it was going to be unlimited knowledge. There's a lot of different AI products out there now that can, put anybody's face on a video, that kind of thing. But is it living up to the hype? I mean, it was going to be everything, all world. I mean, it was going to solve all these problems. Is it solving the problems, or is it slowing down a little bit?
I don't see it slowing down at all. I see it becoming more and more concerning, frankly, with the amount of things that are integrating into it. We don't need AI in everything. When my printer is using AI to tell me when to order ink, I think is a bit much.
Well, you can do that now with not AI printers. You can log it into Amazon, and it'll order its own ink.
Yeah, I think it's too much in some ways, but is AI living up to the hype? I'd say more so than it is, especially with the more stuff we're seeing integrate into it. Machine learning is the iPhone of the 2020s.
So what about, since you mentioned Elon, what about the driving cars? How are we coming on that? Because I know you're like me, you're a fan. You don't have one yet.
Yet is the key
So
word.
I'm watching
Yes.
what you do here.
So if you're following it at all, the 14.2 self-driving software just launched. They are, as Elon said, with the 14 version, they're trying really hard to move from, okay, I can take you from point A to point B, which they've been able to do for a while now, to now I'm going to take you from point A to point B, but I'm going to be able to reason and think as I do it. You can really see that in its handling of parking garages, parking lots. It can now...
That's the bigger problem is tight spaces and people.
Not
and
anymore.
that. Out on the road is not an issue.
When you did the test before, you didn't have version 14. And now what you can do is you're talking about zero contact drives. You can sit down, touch go on the screen, and you touch the wheel zero from point A to point B. It unparks, parks, navigates as needed. And what people are really are finding what's interesting, I've talked to some buddies about this, with AI, there's a term called emergent behavior. You familiar with that? Okay. So y'all both raise kids, right?
Yep.
I'm not a parent yet, but I'm the oldest in a group of siblings, so I've seen this. You know how you have a kid and you teach them, what to do and what not to do, and then you suddenly are like, how'd you learn to do that?
Yeah, like one day they stay by themselves.
How'd you learn to? How'd you learn to open that? How'd you learn to find? Where'd you find that? It's the same thing. These AI AI models, because they learn, they're not programmed.
Right.
They learn. They will pick up on and almost develop unintentional behavior, sometimes undesirable, but they will.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that people have noticed with this 14 software, which I find hilarious, and there's lots of videos of it. This is beyond a glitch. It's a thing that actually happens. They can handle drive-throughs, and to say that, people might not think why that's significant, but to go through a drive-through is kind of this little process. There's a lot involved in it.
Yeah.
Where's the lane? Where's the speaker at? How long do you sit at the speaker? Where do you pay? Sometimes the first window's closed. Sometimes the second window's closed. Got to know which
Sometimes
one.
I got somebody out there with an iPad.
Right. If it's, Chick-fil-A does. How do you know? But there are many, many videoed examples. You can find them on YouTube. Google, look them up, of these cars going. It won't go in the drive-thru on its own. You have to put it there. But then you can engage the self-driving. It will pull up at the speaker and stop. You order. And after you order, it will move, and then it will pull up to the correct window, somehow knowing which window it is.
The pay window or just the window that does it all.
Yeah, it'll wait for you to give them your card. They'll give it back. If they give you your food, they'll wait for you to do that, and then it will pull on out. How does it do that? How does it know? Is it listening?
Does it look
watching?
in the bag to see if I'm a straw short? Which is normally
that
the
would
case.
be something.
That would be really. But I think what a lot of the guys I've talked to are thinking on this, and Tesla themselves have not made any comment on it at all.
Right.
But what we think is, because Teslas have cameras on the side of the vehicle, what we think is that they have learned from their millions of hours of driving, there are lots of drive-thrus, examples in that footage, of course. People in America we're addicted to fast food. But what we think is that they're using the side camera to watch for the transaction to take place.
Right.
Even though that was never taught to the model, or it was never instructed to do those things, it has emerged this ability to handle that. And it's really cool to watch.
So, Stuart, I'll ask you this, and we'll wrap up. I know you have a very busy schedule. What's on your list for Christmas?
So
your tech list.
So I'm actually, I don't know if we talked about this. I'm into 3D printing as a hobby. And that's something I got to get you into. It's really fun. But I'm just was wanting to get one of an automatic filament changer. Are you familiar with how 3D printing works?
Yeah, it's basically got a wire of stuff in there, plastic or whatever, that it melts down and basically hot glue guns it all together.
You got it. That's a great explanation. Yeah. And so what I want is a module. You can buy them, and I use a Bamboo Labs 3D printer, and it basically just sits on top of it, and it gives you the ability to put in more than one spool, and it can automatically
size, color,
exactly,
that kind of thing.
And it can switch back and forth on its own, so you can print in multiple colors, or you can print in multiple textures, or you can print in multiple materials and things like that. So
I've seen houses being built kind of
with
out
the
of the
concrete
same way.
3D printing. Yeah,
that's wild.
It is.
That is wild.
3D
So
Is
what
that
do you
going to
print?
catch? Is that going to catch on? You think?
Oh,
the
for
houses?
Sure. Oh, the houses, I doubt it. But 3D printing. So the technical term in the industrial world is additive manufacturing. So instead of cutting away or carving away or refining a material, you're adding it on, right? So you're adding, and there's lots of like actual devices, including the new Apple Watch Ultra that they just came out with, that is 3D printed out of titanium. So they use titanium powder that's fed into the printer, and just like the hot glue gun, except it's doing it in metal.
Right.
And so they 3D print the chassis, and it's cheaper than machining away all the excess to just form it into one piece.
You don't use as much stuff.
It's
to
a lot.
begin with.
It's quicker. It's more efficient, and you end up with what's cool about 3D printing. You got to think about it from a perspective of manufacturing. When you're wanting to make something metal, you have to cut away what you don't want.
Get a block of something and trim it down, as opposed to Because that's a lot of waste, the trim that comes off.
It is, and it also means you have to get a drill bit in there somewhere, a tool in there to actually carve that away, which means that there are certain shapes you can't make because you can't get the tool in there. With 3D printing, there's no limits to what shapes can be done. So geometry for products is actually more than you could do traditionally.
What did you say, Betty? What did you
I
want
was
to
just
print
wondering,
something?
what do you print? I'm just curious. Like, what are you
working
on? Or
what I
have you
3D
done?
so I 3D print just for fun, and I've done a couple of projects recently. So we have a screen porch door. I don't know if y'all got a screen door somewhere around here, but
We do downstairs.
Yeah. So you know how your screen door is held in with little like an insert around the edge, and so my door is real old at my house, and it's hand painted. And so my screens wore out and torn up, so I needed to replace it, but I didn't want to replace the door because it was painted. And Lowe's didn't sell the insert. So I could buy a new screen, but I couldn't make it fit.
Right.
And so I thought, well, this could be a really fun project. So I go to Grok, and coming back from a few segments ago, and I say, okay, Grok, here we go. So I gave it the measurements. I went with my calipers. I measured the opening all the way around. And I said, here's the dimensions. Give me, and here's what my 3D printer can make as far as how big of an object it can do at a time. Design for me the specs for a multi-piece assembly that will take the place of my insert that I need to replace. And it did it. And with a little back and forth, we refined the design. I printed a prototype. It fit. I printed all the little remaining pieces, went to Lowe's, got some screws, put them in there. Looks factory.
Really?
Oh, that's great.
So that's
crazy.
That's a practical example of what 3D printing can do.
So you could do like a frame or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally.
Something like that. A curtain rod, I guess you could. I don't know.
You can 3D print just about anything as long as your printer can hold it. And if not, you can make it in multiple pieces.
Yeah. Handles.
That's crazy.
Anything.
And printers are so cheap now. You can get a decent printer for like less than $300.
Wow.
I started on the cheapest one from Amazon. My mom got it for me for Christmas a couple years ago, and it's been just so much fun to learn it.
Yeah.
You have to be good at being able to tell it what you want. That's the thing. The design of it is the key, isn't it?
It's a little bit of CAD, but it's less about learning how to design the models because there's lots of you can download them from the internet.
Right, right. There's a lot already.
It's more about learning how to run the printer and how thick should you print and what temperature and all that stuff. So.
We have enough trouble. Our printer just prints paper.
I was about to say.
You know what's funny is in my experience with the 3D printers, they are more reliable than the HPs or anything like regular. You'd think, it's so much more complicated, and yet I can hit print on mine every single time, and it'll work without fail. I can't get 10 pages out of my regular printer without it jamming.
Oh, yeah, it's always something.
It
Stuart, thank you for being with us. Stuart Brockwell from Surge Technologies in Birmingham. Stuart, have a great Thanksgiving if I don't see you before.
Absolutely, and we'll catch back up before Christmas.
Yeah, thank you for coming by. Stuart's helping us out with a little project here, so glad to have you in the studio, and maybe we can catch you again on the flop.
Sounds good.
Thank you, brother. Good to see you. We'll be right back. You are listening to Bubba on the Lake.
It's Bubba on the Lake. Bubba on the Lake.
Attention business owners, print buyers, and production managers. Guaranteed Labels is here to help you focus less on your printing, labels, decals, and focus more on growing your business. Guaranteed Labels wants to be your reliable printer. Quality, on-time shipments, and stock programs set us apart. If you're needing to focus less on your printing and more on your business, trust Guaranteed Labels, 205-640-4552 or GuaranteedLabels.com. Guaranteed Labels, still sticking since 1988.
When you need urgent care, Southern Immediate Care is here for you. Illness doesn't follow a 9-to-5 schedule, so we offer support 7 days a week at convenient locations throughout Birmingham and Northeast Alabama, dedicated to serving all ages from children to adults. Southern Immediate Care offers occupational medicine services, including DOT physicals and testing. At Southern Immediate Care, your health is our top priority. Visit southernimmediatecare.com or call 205-409-2794.
I am so happy to announce that our family dentist, Dr. Thomas Dudney, has joined my podcast as a sponsor. My entire family have been patients of Dr. Dudney and his team for over 20 years. Now, I'm going to be telling you a lot more about all of his services and what he does, but I have to tell you, the veneers that he gave me changed my life. I had no idea how big an impact that would have. You can call him today at 205-663-6545 or visit them at thomasdudney.com and find out more.
You know one thing I love about Buffalo Wild Wings? You can get wings with any of their 26 sauces and dry rubs for takeout and delivery. That's like bringing an entire B-dubs home with you, which you can't do. I tried. I've knocked down so many walls, only to then be told to halt construction because I'm not zoned to be a sports bar. Kinda just looks like a big pergola or something because of the lack of walls. At least these 26 sauces and dry rubs are available to go. Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's go sports bar.
We're back at Bubba on the Lake. It is the big Thanksgiving edition, and man, I've got a lot of things to be thankful for this year, and one of them is sitting right here, and her name is Mrs. Betty Lou Bussey. How are you, babe?
I'm doing great.
You showed out this year, you know.
It's turkey week, so why wouldn't I be doing good? It's almost Christmas time. I've already got up one tree. Well, actually, 2 trees. Got to decorate one of them, and
but you don't put ornaments on them. And you call them a Thanksgiving tree.
Well, the one in the main area where we will be doing Thanksgiving, I don't put ornaments on quite yet. I did decorate downstairs already, though. And it's kind of what I used to call the Thanksgiving tree because it's the Thanksgiving colors. And it's also the one that has the famous chipmunk ornament that one of the girls I used to play tennis with gave me.
Because you had a chipmunk situation, much like Christmas Vacation.
I did. Have I talked about that on this
I don't think
podcast?
You have. Go ahead.
Well, let me go ahead and talk about it then. All right. This was probably 15 years ago. We used to play tennis, and then we'd come back to my house in Pelham and have a little Bible study, and usually about 12, 15 women. So anyway, one closer to Christmas, we had a cat named Luna at the time that liked to get chipmunks all the time. And we also had one of those real heavy castle doors that wouldn't latch well for some reason. So whoever came in last, the door had not latched just right. And we were all sitting there deep in conversation. And
praising
the Lord, and somebody looks around and says, "Oh, what a pretty kitty you have." I said, "Oh yeah, that's Luna." And she goes, "Well, I think it's got a chipmunk." So I turned around and I said, "Oh, it's dead." So I get up to go get about the time I get up to get the chipmunk out of Luna's mouth, she drops it and it starts running. And you talk about
it's running for its life.
12 to 15 women screaming. I mean, and so I go to get the broom. Well, that tree that I'm talking about that has feathers and different colored things that looks a lot like a chipmunk was right by the front door at the time in our foyer, and I'm at that house. And so anyway, it jumps up in that tree to hide, and it really did. It was hidden because it looked just like the rest of the ornaments, you know. So anyway, I get the end of the broom handle to try to, you know, poke it out or whatever, and it finally got out of that tree. But we all had it cornered. It was something
Where did
else.
it go when it got out of the tree?
Well, I swept it out the front door because it was right there at the front door, and made sure it latched.
It was a lot like
it was
Christmas
a lot
Vacation.
Like, yeah, except I didn't have a nosy neighbor at the door, and it didn't attack him.
Right.
Thank goodness.
And the cat didn't bite a wire and catch the tree on fire.
Thank
and all
goodness
that
didn't happen either.
Yeah, well, we try to skip some of that.
Yeah.
Well, it is Thanksgiving, and Betty, I got an email here. You know, Thanksgiving food's a big topic here on this podcast, especially with Thanksgiving coming up. And this is from Nancy McNabb in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Thank you for listening in Missouri. Says, first of all, I love the podcast. Please keep it up. Praying for your success. On episode number 36, Betty talked about making Thanksgiving dressing early and freezing it. I didn't know you could freeze dressing. Is this a cornbread dressing? Would Betty be willing to share her recipe and make ahead instructions?
Why, sure I will. And I don't know if it would be boring for me to just list these, or I can quickly kind of list them, but I'll put the thing on your website or something.
Well, we can put that up under some of the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But talk about freezing dressing.
Okay, what I do...
You've always done that.
Yeah, I do my own cornbread, but I also use some other breads in it, whatever I have here. It's like, you know, whatever you got on hand. If you got rolls, use that. If you got saltine crackers, use that. But I always
you grab everything that's left over and throw it in there.
I do use a pone of homemade cornbread, though. I call it a pone. You know, that's what our moms used to call it. A black
skillet.
wrought iron skillet thing of cornbread. So anyway, and so you just mix everything up like you would do making your thing. And again, we'll put this recipe on the website. But after you do all that, put it in your 9x13 pan. You know, make sure it's greased well and all that. Put it
Ladies
in your
and
9x13 pan.
Please welcome to Betty Say What.
So anyway, after you do that, all you do is pop it in a 350-degree oven. I do about 15 minutes, and then I freeze it. And I do 2 9x13 pans usually. And I freeze both of them, because if I wasn't going to freeze them, I would cook them about 45 minutes at 350. So all you have to do then, like tonight or tomorrow, this is, I guess, Monday night. So either tonight or tomorrow, I would take it out, let it thaw, put it in the oven then for maybe 25, 30 minutes, just depending on how fast your oven cooks. And it comes out great. That's all there is
and
to it.
You don't put the chicken or the turkey
I don't, but
or the
you
ham
can.
in the dressing. You have it separate.
I don't, but you could, and it would
Now
still freeze well.
Talk about the gravy. The gravy to me is the make or break of the whole thing.
Well, I got good news and bad news on the gravy. Your Aunt Bessie always called it giblet gravy.
Yes.
Or giblet gravy. Y'all had the big debate on that one year.
So I don't care what you call it, as long as we got it and it pours.
And I always thought, well, I will never be able to replicate that. And when she told me what it was, it's basically 1 can of cream of chicken soup, 1 can of chicken stock or whatever, and you cut up some turkey in there, whatever. I don't know what she cut up. I don't use it. Well, I don't do the liver. No, I just do a little bitty bit of turkey.
Something's missing, I could tell.
And that's pretty much it. And then she puts it on the oven. I mean, on the stove.
Didn't she
warms
cut an egg up? Didn't she do?
Oh
some
yeah,
eggs?
and you do cut up a boiled egg. Yeah, you cut up a boiled egg in that. And here's the pups.
Boy, you said cut up an egg, and the
here
dogs
they
went
go.
crazy.
Yeah,
didn't
they love an egg. But
They're the Barkers heard from.
Yep.
They're ready for Thanksgiving. You
so-
think they won't be working the table?
Listen. Yeah, they'll be in overtime. If somebody drops a little thing of dressing, buddy, it will be gone.
Yeah.
And,
I don't even worry about the crumbs.
Oh, I don't either. No, I really don't. But yeah, that's all there is to it, to that dressing. But the bad news I was going to say, this year I have ordered our smoked turkey from a place close to our home that I'm going to go pick up Wednesday. Well, they were providing dressing with it. So I did get the stuff to do Aunt Bessie's just in case we don't like this. And it may not. It may be that brown. I don't know how you do all that brown gravy stuff. I guess, in your skillet on the
I kind of like the one you made, Betty. I just hate to say it.
Yeah. So anyway, that was kind of the bad news. But the good news is, if you want to do the other, it's simple.
And our tradition, because several of you have asked about our tradition, we'll have the kids in, and I've talked about it. We used to have a house full, and we're down to like the basic 4 now because they haven't multiplied and divided yet. And we'll eat more than we should, probably lay in the floor and watch football for a little while, and then probably get up and go for a walk so we can make room to eat again.
Yeah, we'll have to get on the golf cart to get up the hill to take a walk.
Right,
I mean, because I can get up our hill, but most of y'all don't want to fool with that, you know. So
no, it's pretty steep.
Anyway, yeah.
Just get me up there, and then we'll go from there.
All right, so you want to know the rest of the menu for Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Is that where we're going here?
Now, before we can give it to Logan to put on the website, you're going to have to type it up. He can't read all them handwritten notes around
I do
here.
have some of them typed up, but I think I've even got the dressing one typed up somewhere because I made a notebook for the kids, whether they wanted it or not, and gave it to them. And Caitlin's actually used some of it.
So that our recipe will live on past us for future generations.
Yes.
But, it's sad in some way because when you're a kid, you're eating, you got grandparents, you got aunts, uncles, all that kind of stuff. And it seems like they are going to live forever. And then they don't,
Yeah.
And then before you know it, hey, it's next generation. Here we go.
Yep. Well, I didn't know how to do cornbread dressing for years. My mom, I had her recipe and I had watched her make it, but I had never had to actually make it. And she lived, hour and a half, 2 hours away or whatever, the year that I was supposed to be providing the dressing for our Thanksgiving. And so actually our neighbor, Fran Baker, came over and showed me how to do it, and all that. So
She was a lifesaver.
Shout
there.
out to Fran.
Yep.
Thank you.
The
Thank
lady
you
who
very
saved
much.
Thanksgiving.
That's right. She's better known as the lady who saved Thanksgiving.
Well, I'm just so fired up for it this year. I think because we've had such a hellacious fall. I'm just thankful.
Yeah.
You know?
I am too. I'm thankful. We may almost be done with these IV antibiotics, I hope.
Yeah.
So, but
That'd be
we
nice,
will have
wouldn't
to
it?
do that Thanksgiving Day and maybe a few days
Oh,
after.
yeah,
But we
well,
hope it's almost done.
It ain't that big a deal now. I'm used to it.
No, it's real. We've got it down pat now. I get the stuff out. Hey, we do it in about a 15-minute process,
You gotta let
start
it
to finish.
room temperature for about
For an hour. You got to think to set it out.
The worst thing's changing the dressing on it once a week because that.
Yeah, I hadn't had to do
hurts.
that. Our little home health nurse
Yeah, it
comes and
hurts.
does that.
I don't like it.
Thank you. Thank you very much,
Yeah,
Lacey.
she does a good job.
She
but boy,
does.
it still hurts.
Appreciate her.
She's got better at it. She works that alcohol in there and gets that thing loose.
She did good before. You just didn't like her just peeling it off without putting alcohol on there.
Oh,
He's
it
a bit
hurt.
of a baby
Listen.
when it comes to the patient. But you've been through a lot. I understand.
I'm going to tell you, that skin under the underside of your arm is not meant for adhesive to be pulled off of it because it hurts like a moat.
Yeah, that is a sensitive area.
Yeah, it's terrible. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm thankful for you, honey.
Well, thank you. I'm thankful for you, too. I'm thankful for all our family and our friends, our kids, our pups.
Yep.
You know, thankful for this podcast. It's been fun getting it going. Now, not as thankful for QuickBooks, but that's another story. Hello.
QuickBooks.
Anybody know anything about QuickBooks? Then
This is what I have found out. There's a lot of people will tell you, hey, I know QuickBooks, but they're not really willing to sit down and help you through your problem.
yeah, I don't know if anybody local would like to sit down with
Yeah,
me. How
it's,
about I'll cook you some dressing if you want to come over here and show me how to do it. You can have that extra 9x13 pan, in fact.
Oh, gosh, that's funny.
Oh, bless them.
So I was going to talk about this in another segment, but it may be worthwhile bringing up now. When I went, and I've told this story on the radio many years ago, one Thanksgiving I was in Kentucky visiting friends, and we went to their relative's house, which happened to be in Elizabethtown, or what the locals call E-Town. And they were, helping my plate. They had people kind of serving.
I know what you're about
and
to
they
say.
said, "How many dressings do you want?" I said, "How
many balls? Is that the word you're
well,
going
they
with?
they said how many. They didn't say
Yeah.
balls.
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, I'll take a few scoops." And they said, "No, it's in balls." And I was very
Now, I don't
confused.
know anything about balls and dressing. I don't know. Dressing balls, whatever. I just don't.
And
I just don't.
there is Betty
Sorry.
Lou Bussey.
No.
Um,
Where's the drums when you need them?
But, I like getting the corner piece out of the dressing casserole, for lack of a better term, because it's crunchy on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the crunchy part. When you have dressing balls, they're crunchy all the way around. So you actually have more crunchy stuff.
You know, I
and what
should
they
Google
do
that.
is they take the balls and then they smash them up with a fork, so you can't tell the difference by the time you get to the table.
Well, who cares then? Well, let's just go with the pan.
Well, I was going to say, me and you have talked about it. Next year, do you want to try dressing balls and put
Well,
it like
I tell you
a...
who I ask is old Grok. I'll just type that into Grok and say,
And
how
ask
do you
him.
fix dressing
Well,
balls?
we can call...
See.
I tell you what, they put it in like a muffin pan.
Yeah, I see that.
And it was good because I love the crunchy part.
You'd have to use
just a little bit burned on the edge.
Is
Just
it like
little
a
bit
regular
crispy.
size muffin? Like
Yeah, I mean,
say,
it was the balls were about the size of
3
a
inch,
of a
4
pool
inch?
ball, a
so
billiard
smaller
ball,
then. Okay,
somewhere between there and a
the old billiard
baseball,
ball
somewhere in that
size.
size.
Okay.
But the big people say, "I'll take 3 balls."
Yeah, sure.
And
You
of
probably
course,
said 6 right off the bat
no,
when you
they,
saw the size of them.
well, I was a teenager.
truth.
I was a teenager at the time, and when they said 3 balls, I thought immediately of a June cat. But
A June cat? What? Good Lord. Oh, my gosh. Where are we going with this?
it's an old saying.
cat.
But we won't.
Okay,
we
I'm
won't
going to have
go
to
into
ask
that.
Brock about that, too. What is a June
No.
cat?
Okay.
Okay.
Let's not ask Grok that. When we're not recording, I'll explain it to you. You've got plenty of paper and a pencil there. I can draw it out for you.
Oh, all right.
But very thankful for Thanksgiving. Looking forward to it. And thank you for all you've done this year, Betty. You've been quite the trooper.
I've swung into action as far as nursing. I've learned how to bookkeep.
You become more of an air talent.
Yeah, I guess kind of. And played a lot of pickleball this year.
You have, and I'm glad
Met
for
a lot
that.
of new friends in that respect. So
Yep. It's been a while. I tell you, and we laugh about it sometimes, but it's true. I'm ready for a year of peace in the valley, because it seems like we have been topsy-turvy for the last 2 or 3 between tornado, show ending, and all this going on with the knee. So, but the knee's doing good. It's, if you look at it now, it looks like I've had a minor bicycle wreck.
Yeah, you've upgraded to minor bicycle wreck.
Because it did look like hamburger.
Oh, I know. It's funny you say that about peace. Just yesterday, I was looking back at a journal, and I'm not one of these that writes stuff every day, and I wish I was better at that. But 2 or 3 or even 4 entries, especially with the end of the show, the tornado stuff, and even before that, the liver cancer thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we've had
a lot
run
going on in the last 4 years, and every entry was about peace. So it's a big deal to have peace in your mind, and don't be anxious about anything, but in everything with thanksgiving.
Yep.
And that verse ends, and the Lord will give you peace beyond measure.
Yep, and
that transcends all understanding.
We've needed it, and we've had a lot of folks praying for us. A lot of you that are listening to this podcast, we appreciate it. Please keep it up, and we'll try to keep rolling. For many years, though, I really felt like we were kind of skating on ice. I mean, we were moving forward, a lot going on, and we didn't have a lot of these upheavals that we've had the past few years. So, maybe somebody slipped up and prayed for patience. I don't know. I don't. I'm not praying for. I ain't praying for that anymore. I'll tell you that. That's out.
That would be out. Yeah.
Betty, thank you. Thanks for sharing those. We'll try to get those on the website. May not make it before Thanksgiving, but we'll get them on there, and we will continue our discussion and our outlook about Thanksgiving balls for next year.
Yeah. Are we done? We're already done? This was quick.
This segment is about to wrap up. Wow. We'll be right back with more Bubba on the Lake.
You're listening to Bubba. Whoa. Bubba on the Lake.
Just got that new boat? Let Sunrise Docks protect your investment with Swift Shield boat covers, Neptune boat lifts, and easy ports for your personal watercraft. Plus, they have composite decking that stays cool, designed with your feet in mind. Sunrise Docks is always first in quality, first in service, and first in customer satisfaction. Right off Highway 63, your Lake Martin headquarters, with 2 barges and the most experienced boat lift crew on the lake. Sunrise Docks is your lake life expert. Call 256-392-5200.
On the water or off, experience lake life to the fullest at Russell Lands on Lake Martin. Spend your mornings with breakfast at Fanny's. Afternoons, you can explore over 100 miles of trails through Russell Forest. And for dinner, how about the Southern farm-to-table flavors at Spring House? Whether you're here for the weekend or you've made your home at the lake, Russell Lands is where community and the land come together. To learn more about upcoming events, visit russelllands.com. Come see what lake life is all about.
At Central State Bank, we believe community banking is more than just transactions. It's about relationships. For over 100 years, we've been helping neighbors grow, businesses thrive, and dreams become reality. Because when you bank local, you invest in your community. Central State Bank, large enough to serve you, small enough to know you. Visit us today or learn more at centralstatebank.com. Member FDIC.
We're back. Bubba on the Lake. I thought we had wrapped up with Betty, and she says, oh, no, I got more stuff. So Betty is back.
Well, I tell you, we were on the topic of Thanksgiving anyway, and so the kids will be here. Our custom is to usually, start decorating the tree, or either I usually do it.
You mean the
Sometimes y'all
Thanksgiving
help.
tree?
No, I'm talking about the real Christmas tree in here that's just got the lights on it now.
Well, that's
and
the
then
Thanksgiving
mantle.
tree.
Well, I guess, yeah, it becomes the Christmas tree, the transition tree.
I'm not big on the mantle because you get my electronics up there and start messing with all
good
that
grief.
stuff.
Anyway, to transition into that, a lot of people do Black Friday shopping.
Oh, yeah.
Correct?
Crazy.
The day after
stuff.
Thanksgiving. So I've already been looking, and apparently, Stuart thinks I need a new laptop. So I guess that's been added to the list now. And so that's actually on Amazon. You can obviously get anything on Amazon. You really can. It's crazy. My
I wish it was not that easy because I have a real heart for the brick and mortar retailers.
Me too. And I still love to go look and all that.
But what a lot of people do, they go look, then they go home and buy it on Amazon, which doesn't help the retailer.
know.
They go out of business.
I know.
Then you have nowhere to go see it. Then
I
you
know.
have to buy stuff on Amazon blindly and
Right.
hope it's what you want. So it's really kind of a vicious cycle.
My own Cloud 5 sneakers are at several different stores in Birmingham that I was supposed to get back in May, and you thought you ordered them and you never did.
Right.
So anyway, that's another thing on my list. But they are also, I think, on Amazon.
So this
for
is
their
spun
Black
into
Friday.
Betty's Christmas list
It
segment.
kind of has, yeah. I mean, we're talking about Black Friday here. And I'm also a big fan of E. Newton bracelets. And so they apparently have this
I have
big
no
Black
idea what
Friday.
that is.
E. Newton design. It's the little bead bracelets that are popular now. So apparently they have a big Black Friday sale. So we're going to check that out too. And so that's on my list. You don't know it, but you're going to check it out.
Okay, great.
And
looking forward to it.
And one of my all-time favorite products.
We kind of got a big football game or two this week.
Oh, I know.
Seen
Yeah,
that.
that's right.
Yep.
So one of my all-time favorite products that I've talked about before, I don't know if I talked about it on the show, maybe because the Mop and Glow story kind of spun out of this product, but self tanner. I love self tanner. Have used it since the Cedar Springs days. Okay, but my new favorite is PETA or PETA Jane. I don't know how she says her name. PETA Jane. So anyway, you can go to PETAJaneBeauty.com, and they're having this big Black Friday thing that's already
And
started.
they're the self-tanner people?
They're the self-tanner people. She used to be on Dancing with the Stars, PETA
sure,
Jane or whatever,
sure.
yeah. And so she started her own little company. But I love that self-tanner. It's wonderful. So anyway, this little things here and there, a little chit-chatty about products and this and that. I could have some more for you if I'd had a little more heads up.
Well, you got a pretty good list there. What do you got? 6, 7 things?
Yeah,
I mean,
that was
that's
it.
a few thousand.
Like I said,
I see a few thousand laying there.
Well, with that laptop on there, that's
Yeah.
going, yeah. And I didn't really, I don't know. We may have to get with Stuart on that. He may can help us out. We may not get a brand new one.
Need one out of the back closet somewhere.
Yeah. Maybe he can pour one in that 3D thing of his and make us one. I don't know how that works, but anyway.
Yeah, that's interesting. Now, he may not have talked about that already. By the time you're on, I don't know how we're going to stack all this together.
Yeah, I don't either. But how about 3D printers? Those sound so neat. They really do.
Well, they are. They're a lot of work. You got to know what you're doing.
I didn't say I wanted one. I just said they sounded neat. You know what I mean?
We
Don't
mentioned
get
it
fear
in
in
that
your
segment. We can hardly get a paper printer to work around here consistently. So
no, it's a mess. So.
But I'm just I'm glad the kids are going to be coming in, and Caitlin's back in D.C. and be good to see her. And
she'll be flying
Hunter's
in, God
working
willing,
with us.
safely.
We see him more often now, but he's not here every day. So
yeah, it'll be good
I'm looking
for
forward
all
to
of
it.
them.
Yep.
Yeah, the Jack State Gamecocks are in action. Did I say that right?
What team is that, Betty? Try that again. You were trying to be careful not to say something wrong.
I said it wrong anyway.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, the Jack State Gamecocks are going up against
Western Kentucky. This Saturday.
That's right.
Mid-afternoon. You can come out, watch that game, then come home, watch the Iron Bowl.
That's right.
So
there's
you'll have
no excuse.
And this will be for conference championship. Who gets to go on to that game the week after? So we're excited about that and looking forward to it.
Yep.
I love you,
fun.
Beth. Thank
Love
you for
too.
everything you do, and thank you for. I know it's going to be a wonderful Thanksgiving.
It will.
And we're going to try to play some board games and card games just for you.
Oh, I'll believe it when I see it, folks. Stay tuned.
Well, it's just...
I bet you $1 they'll weasel out of it.
Which game do you really want to play?
I'll play whatever everybody's fired up about. If y'all want to play Rummy, that's fine.
Uno? What about Uno?
That's fine. I'll play Uno. And there's some card game the kids have they've named it golf. I don't know if that's really what I don't even remember how to play now. You just like write random stuff down and people try to guess what it is or something. Can you give hints and something?
Well, that sounds like a fun game.
Well, it really was. You played it. You remember?
I don't know.
It was really fun. But anyway.
I think my attention span is too short now.
Must be. I always loved a good game of Clue. That was always pretty good, especially if you just have 4. That's a good game, you know. But yeah, we'll see.
I used to love Which. Do you remember that? Where you
no
had the haunted house and you had to work your way through it, and it had the whammy ball that would come down and wipe you out.
Never played that.
And you had to. It was kind of like Clue. You had to figure out which witch was haunting the house or something. I don't know.
Probably sounds interesting.
Borderline, something.
Dead End something. What's that one? I bought the kids 2 different board games.
Well, this is an interesting segment. We can't think of any of their names.
The Dead End Street something. It was some game they loved that they used to play. The babysitter had it, and she'd bring it, Hannah. And so,
was it Backstreet Dead End?
No, it was Dead End something. It was a number, but anyway, I can't think. I bought them 2 separate things of it because the first one they lost a part, and you had to have the parts for it to be played right. You know,
that's the problem with board games. It's little dinky parts,
and then they messed around,
get sucked up in the vacuum cleaner, and you never see them again.
And then they messed around and lost one on the way to Rockford when we used to hunt in Rockford some. So there'll be none of that.
Well, we hope you will have an entertaining Thanksgiving, and I'm sure we'll get a complete recap on that. And we hope all of you have a great Thanksgiving and enjoy those house full of relatives that you only see once a year. And enjoy.
Y'all don't fight. Everybody be patient with each other.
We'll be right back with more on Bubba on the Lake.
You're listening to Bubba on the Lake.
Hit me bad.
A production of Intergalactic Pants and Tees.
All rights reserved.
On the water or off, experience lake life to the fullest at Russell Lands on Lake Martin. Want to know what's going on around Lake Martin? Check out the calendar of seasonal events that include Fridays on the Green, naturalist events, fireworks, concerts, poker runs, boat shows, juried art shows, boat parades, and much more. If you're here for the weekend or if you've made your home at the lake, Russell Lands is where community and the land come together. To learn more about upcoming events, visit russelllands.com. Come see what lake life is all about.
Illuminate your night fishing adventures with the ultimate in submersible fishing light technology. The Green Monster Fishing Light attracts bait fish and game fish in all water environments. Turn any dock into a vibrant feeding frenzy. Compact, tough, and energy efficient. The Green Monster Fishing Light will provide endless hours of family entertainment and enhanced nighttime visibility for safe docking. No dock, no problem. With our 24-inch portable Green Monster Fishing Light, start landing trophy fish tonight. Visit thegreenmonsterfishinglight.com.
Another staff meeting, another push for cross-selling, another awkward silence. Then Banker Bounty happened. The first referral platform made just for banks. One app that empowers every employee, not just your top producers, to bring in business. No more spreadsheets, no more silos, just clarity, culture, and actual growth in real time. Banker Bounty fixes more than your referral program. It fixes your momentum. Go to bankerbounty.com, watch the video, book your free demo. Banker Bounty, create, manage, and track referrals in real time.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
Well, we're back and we're going to wrap it up right here. We want to thank everyone for being on the show today. Stuart Brockwell from Surge Technologies in Birmingham, and of course the lovely Betty Lou. Sorry we didn't get David Beeman on. We're going to try to get him on a podcast very soon. He a very, very interesting guy who's had a lot to do with our space program, and we want to catch up with him and see what's going on with the Artemis program. And we hopefully will have an interview with our spirited child, Caitlin. She should be in for the Thanksgiving holiday, so we'll try to grab her while she is in town. Again, I want to remind everybody, because this is the last time I'm going to get to tell you about it, that Santa comes to Lake Martin on Black Friday for Christmas at Crossroads. That's November the 28th. You need to come by and shop the bazaar from 9 to 4 for that perfect handmade gift for the loved ones on your list. You know, if you're just tired of the old Amazon thing and you want to get them something maybe a little more hands-on, a little more arts and crafts, this is a great time. Betty and all her friends, they love to go up there and they stay the whole time. Tell the kids to have their list ready and get their picture made with Santa. He'll be there from 10 to 2. And if you need more information about the day, you can go to russelllands.com. And we especially appreciate them being on the program with us. So, guys, have a great Thanksgiving. We have so much to be thankful for. Please try to enjoy it for that and don't get caught up in all the other things that we get caught up in. Most of all, be careful. We want to talk to you, not read about you. And until next time we sail into port, remember God loves you and we do too. Thanks for being part of Bubba on the Lake.
This podcast is brought to you in part by Coke, Buffalo Wild Wings, Southern Immediate Care, Guaranteed Labels, Central State Bank, Sunrise Docks, Banker's Bounty, and Dr. Thomas Dudney.